So, my dear learners, in this particular video we are going to discuss with one case study over here. So, because in our one of the previous videos we have already discussed about the different types of application softwares. Under that we come across the variety of systems, the titles also we had already discussed. Okay. So, in this video as an example we are taking one example of that embedded system, embedded control system. The name of the system here is insulin pump control system. Okay. So, we will discuss this particular system as a case study. So, like that in this particular chapter actually there are 3 different case studies that we are going to supposed to study as a part of our syllabus. Okay. So, in this video we will cover the first case study, then in further videos we will cover our second case study and third one. Okay. Just have a look at here. The name of the system is insulin pump control system. It is a type of embedded control system, and just try to recall what is an embedded system. Embedded system is nothing but what? It is both software and hardware based, but it is a combination of both software plus hardware. It is not a purely software system first of all. And second thing is always embedded systems, in embedded systems the hardware is always controlled by the software. So, it means that my overall hardware arrangement is always controlled by the heart of the system is what? Here the software with which we are going to control. Okay. So, now let us see here what is this the overall the concept of this insulin pump control system. What is this system? How this system works? What is the purpose of this system? Okay. So, that we will discuss in this video. Okay. So, let us start here. So, an insulin pump control system, it is an embedded system. Okay. It is used by the diabetic patient to maintain the blood glucose control. So, as all of you know that the sugar patients, hope all of you are familiar with that. Is it clear? So, you know that normally the sugar is nothing but because of the glucose level in the blood, sugar level. Okay. And you know the normal procedure today, how the diabetic patient will take the treatment. So, every time on a regular basis, on monthly basis, or for every 15 days he is going to approach the doctor. There his blood sample will be taken, then his sugar level will be what? Measured, and also that will be compared with his previous readings that has been kept as a records in his file. Based on that the doctor will take a decision that how much insulin is to be delivered for that particular patient to control that sugar. And even nowadays you might have come across that even in their own residence itself the patients are so expert, so that on a regular basis they will be taking what? That insulin amount. Okay. And it will be get injected by them manually through the injection. So, that is what the normal nature that we have already seen. Hope all of you might have come across this information. I hope so. Okay. Now, the same overall the things which are happening manually, that will be done by this embedded system. This is an automatic embedded system which will be attached to the body of the what you call that diabetic patient. Okay. And this particular embedded system is going to monitor the sugar level in the blood of that particular patient, and based on the sugar level the system is capable of calculating the amount of the insulin to be get injected. Is it clear? Just have a look at here the overall the component of the system, what are all the different parts which are there in this particular system. Okay. Just have a look at there. It is going to have one needle assembly for that embedded system. Why we need this needle? To inject the insulin. Okay. And also there is one pump. So, this pump is going to move that amount of insulin into the body of the patient when it will be get injected. Okay. Then we will be having one clock. The clock is required to measure the sugar level with respect to a fixed interval. Okay. So, I can fix that for every fixed interval of time. This particular system is going to measure the sugar level in the body of the patient. Okay. Then there will be a sensor. So, the sensor is going to collect the data, means sense, this is going to collect the data of that sugar. This is a blood sugar sensors will be there, and that is the responsibility of that one. then there will be an alarm. So, whenever if something goes wrong with the patient or with that machine, so there will be an alarm, and even in that machine there will be display screens which will be displaying that amount, that insulin or something else, that amount of the insulin or the time period, everything. A small two displays have been provided over there, and there will be and all these parts will be get controlled by one software, that is called what? A controller. See here. So, these are all the different hardware parts, that all these hardware parts will be connected to what? One particular interfaced with the overall components, and that the whole system is get controlled by what? This software, that is called as what? A controller. Is it clear? And apart from that, there will be separate insulin reservoir. Insulin reservoir means here some amount of insulin will be always stored. Why? Because on regular basis, based on the calculation of this particular system, some amount of insulin is to be get injected into the body of the patient, and for all these things we need what? To make that overall system to work, we need a power supply. So, that power supply is also available here. Okay. So, when we are going to combine all these different parts, this is an overall arrangement for what? This insulin pump control system as an embedded. So, now just have a look at here. So, we will see here how this particular overall system is going to work here, that we will discuss. Okay. So, basically this particular embedded system, that is insulin pump control system, is going to what? Collect the data from what? The blood sugar sensor, as you have seen in that previous diagram, and it is going to calculate what? The amount of insulin required to be get injected into the body of the patient. So, this is the first point. And second thing is, look at here, this calculation of that insulin is always based on what? The rate of change of the blood sugar level. So, what is this rate of change of blood sugar level? See, always is very important that we need how the system will come to know that whether the sugar level is increasing or the sugar level is what? Decreasing. See, for example, see here, every time the system is going to take minimum 3 readings. See, means it will go with the current reading R1, and it will also take the previous 2 readings which have been already stored, let it be R2 and R3. So, here R2 and R3 are previous readings which have been already stored, and it will take the current reading R1. Then it will compare this R1 with R2 and R1 with what? R3. Based on that, the system will come to know that whether the rate of the blood sugar level is increasing or it is what? Decreasing. So, like that the calculations will be done over here, and based on that calculations, the next step is it is going to send a signal to the micro pump that will be kept as a part of that system to deliver what? The correct dose of the insulin that will be get injected. Okay. And the very important aspect that we need to look into here. So, this particular system is a type of safety critical system. See here, just have a look at the word that that we are using here, safety critical. See, first of all, the system is a critical system. Why? Because see, this particular system deals with that patient body. See, if something goes wrong with this particular device is concerned, it is very dangerous to the that particular patient. Okay. So, it may cause a death of that particular patient, it is very dangerous. So, that is why we are using this word safety critical. So, safety is very much essential, as well as this particular system is very much critical for the patient is concerned. Why? Because at the regular level, at the regular interval, the system should be capable of calculating the correct amount of the insulin. That is very much essential here. Okay. And another important thing is, see there, as you know that the diabetic patients and especially this sugar problem is very a critical factor with respect to the health of the patient is concerned. So, here we know that the low blood sugar can lead to what? The brain malfunctioning, coma and death. Especially low blood sugar is very dangerous, and at the same time high blood sugar level is also what? a long term consequences, such as it may create the problem with eyes and what, the kidney damage. So, that is why the correct working nature of this device is very essential here. That is the reason that this system is called as what, a safety critical system. Okay. And now, just have a look at here how this particular overall functionality will be taken place. So, this is the diagram, that is the diagram is called as activity model of insulin pump. Okay. See, just have a look at the name of this diagram here, it is activity model. Okay. And this particular diagram is called as activity model. Basically, in our software engineering, whenever we want to develop any system, okay, we can represent that system in a graphical way with different types of system models. So, activity model is a one type of system model. System model, look at the word system model, the name itself indicates how the system is get modeled, that we are going to represent in terms of the graphical representation. This is very important. And even in the very beginning itself, we are saying that, so our software is not simply a program, do remember. So, a software is what? It is a set of programs along with its documentation. It means that today if I am writing a software for this particular embedded system is concerned, then this particular diagram itself also act as a document for this. Okay. So, this diagram will help me to how to write a software for the functionality of this particular application is concerned. Is it clear? So, that is why system models are very much essential before developing or designing any system, either it may be a purely software or it may be a combination of software plus hardware. And in this particular diagram is concerned, just have a look at over here. So, try to understand the overall picture of this diagram here. So, initially my blood sensor will start sensing what, the sugar level. Okay. So, what it does, it is going to analyze the we will start analyzing the sensor reading. The sensor is going to what, perform the collecting the data of that sugar level. Okay. Then analyze the sensor reading, then we will come to know that what is the sugar level. Is it clear? Just have a look at it, that is about the blood sugar level. Okay. Based on the blood sugar level, we are going to compute the insulin. Is it clear? So, once the insulin will be get computed over here, okay, then that dose will be get stored here, means how much dose that we need to give. Okay. And based on that dose, just come to the next point over here. So, it will come to the compute pump control command. Okay. So, command will be get given to that pump. Okay. Based on that command, okay, the data will be sent. Okay. Based on that data, the amount of insulin, okay, that will be get injected through what, through this particular activity called control insulin pump. Is it clear? Okay. And then that much of amount of insulin will be get pumped or injected into the body of the patient finally. So, this is what, how the overall insulin will be get computed and it will be get injected into the body of the patient here. And throughout this particular diagram is concerned here, you can observe one thing, just have a look at the different notation that we are using here. Somewhere I am using the rectangle box and somewhere using oval shaped. Okay. So, wherever we are using the rectangle shape, this is the storage of the data. So, here we are keeping the data. Okay. And wherever you are using these oval shaped here, these are all the activities which are happening here. Okay. These are all the activities which are, that is the reason that the diagram is called as what, activity model. And also every time whatever the amount of dosage that we have given, that will be entered into this log dose, just do remember. So, here we are going to record the amount of dosage which are being given even previously also. Okay. So, that will be always maintained, just do remember. So, now coming to the essential high level requirements of this particular system is concerned. Okay. So, just have a look at here. We have already told that in the very beginning, every software system should have some set of good attributes. Okay. Under that, hope all of you remember that we discussed one component over there, that is the characteristic, that is what dependability. Okay. So, dependability, it consists of once again 4 different attributes like availability, reliability, safety and security. So, when I am going to talk about this particular insulin pump control system, okay. So, here for this particular system we always expect that dependability is very important. So, dependability in terms of what? Just have a look at here, availability. So, we always expect that this particular system should be always available to deliver what? The insulin when it is required. This is very important. Why? Because this is attached to the patient body, and whenever the sugar level will be get changed based on that, the immediate requirement of insulin should be made available to the patient body. Otherwise, we have already told it will directly cause the death of that particular patient. It is very dangerous. So, that is why the system should be always what? Available. Means that amount of insulin should be always in a stock, it should be available in that reservoir. So, insulin should be always made available. Okay. And second thing is, the system should always perform the reliable computation, means the correct amount of insulin is to be get calculated, only that much of insulin is to be get delivered. See, imagine if my system is going to perform the wrong calculation, what happens? Okay. If it is get calculated wrong, and if I give that wrong amount of the insulin to the body of the patient, then once again it is too dangerous. It is also very, that is why the system should be always available, then system should be always reliable. Okay. So, that is the reason that these two are most important high level requirements for our system. Okay. So, hence the system must therefore be implemented to ensure that the system always meets what? These requirements. So, these are the 2 essential requirements that this particular embedded system has to meet. Okay. So, hope all of you have understood this. Okay. Thank you.